Want more podcasts? Head over to gmg-podcast.com.
This is my experience, and like, because I know like there's this big fucking crossover shit where all these MMA boxers want to fight MMA guys and MMA guys want to fight boxers, which I think is fucking dumb. Because it's two different fucking sports, right? Because I have, for example, I box well for MMA, but I don't box well for boxing, and it's quite evident when I'm training at Grants and like I step in the ring with a guy like Sook, right? I'll be like boxing, and the first couple of seconds I'll get things off, but there's a fluency to boxing. There's a fluency to professional boxers that they have, where there's I would say like other combat sport athletes, there's a delayed reaction when they kind of see a hole, they kind of like wind up or their hips are not in the right position. But when you get to the pro level of boxing, there's a fluency. Like, you know what I'm saying? When like a guy touches you like 10 times, like, fuck, I didn't see one of those things. And they're not hard shots. They're constantly touching you. And then it's almost like you can't see. And then boom, that one shot that comes in. And it's not a fucking haymaker shot. It's a clean right hand. And for me as a outsider looking in, that's how I see the difference. Because I do spar with a lot of boxers, when I spar with them, I'm rarely ever winning rounds, and I'm okay with that because I have no ego, right? But my clear difference, the difference I see is like there's a very different fluency to a professional boxer than what I would say I'm an amateur boxer, because I don't box, right? I'm a professional MMA fighter, but I would classify my skill set as an amateur boxer, right? But do you
Mhm.
think that do you agree with me on that sense where there's a the difference between the two is like a really good professional boxer will touch you so much, and the like the fluency of the punches is just on a different level.
Yeah, I would say that's the difference between like a very high level boxer versus when you're an amateur and still coming up. It's definitely like when we punch, like especially when you get very good, you punch without having any tells. Like you won't have like an elbow stick up that a guy will
Yeah,
see. You won't like look at them at their body before you throw the punch to the body. You just know how to like mask everything. So like they don't even know they're about to get hit by something like that. They'll just touch you a couple times and then they'll calculate an opening on you and then they'll just let it off very like fluidly without you even knowing it's about to like be there.
yeah,
And that's an important skill set to have. And I think I think some MMA fighters, like when I watch MMA fighters like spar boxing and stuff, I think like when because they do kickboxing and other like arts,
yeah,
it kind of like mixes into the boxing, which is why they don't have that like the fluency to do those things, because they kind of have like habits from other sports that they kind
yeah,
of bring in, which is why they have like little flaws in terms of boxing. It's like a flaw, right?
yeah.
Um,
And
but
one
yeah,
of the biggest things I see as a different, and I say this out of the humbleness because I respect boxing so much, is that when guys try to transition from MMA and try to box, the stance is totally different, right? So
yeah,
like when you're fighting Muay Thai or you're fighting kickboxing, you're able to use the legs. You fight in a more extended kind of stance because you're trying to set up kicks, trying to set up knees, those kind of things. When you're boxing and you're in an extended stance and you get that pressure, I find like, okay, now you're on your back foot. When you're on your back foot, you're not even saying, you're not dodging, you're not bobbing and weaving, you're not slipping punches when all your weight's on one foot, right? Whereas
mhm,
you can get away with that in kickboxing, because if you're all your weight's on your back foot, and you can always, front kick a guy to break up the transition. You know what I mean? Or like wrestling, it's a different kind of stance. So I feel like